Welcome back to JML Recording Studios. We're in a weird little corner in the back of the control room. I don't think I've ever actually sat back here. So this is part 5. It's the final part of the recording studio tour of JML Recording Studios. So I just wanted to come and sit next to the plate reverb that's in the back of the studio. That's right, it is a mono in, stereo out, stereo reverb plate. And it's the most amazing thing in the world, and therefore I have made a video for you in the description below. You can click the link and check it out. In this video, I just want to talk about some of my favorite guitars. We're going to start in here and end up in the lounge where I have some other guitars, but look at this cool little Guild. This is the SF1 Jet 90, and it has little P90 pickups in it, but it's Guild's own version of the P90s, and it's a killer electric guitar. This is the Dan Electro U2. I have had probably 7 or 8 of these. They're just so cool. They sound fantastic. These lipstick pickups sound great. Usually it just has one. This is a double. This is a reissue. It has a Masonite and poplar body. Sears started selling the Silvertone version of this after Dan Electro came out with this in 1954. Eric Clapton, B.B. King, George Harrison, you name it. The ES335 is an iconic electric guitar, and mainly because it's the very first semi-hollow body guitar ever made. 1958, it blends perfectly the warmth of a hollow body and the feedback resistance and sustain of a solid body. Also, I don't know why, but this neck just feels longer than any other neck you'll ever play. I don't care if you got an old Ibanez sitting around, it just feels like it just goes and goes and goes. It has a 24.75 inch scale neck, length neck, and it has 22 frets. But it just feels like the frets just go forever. That's one of the coolest things about this guitar. Then we've got this new Mexican Jazzmaster. It has gold foil pickups, which give you chime and punch. If you've seen the old Bobcats that Harmony used to make, these are kind of clones of those pickups, and they just sound absolutely fantastic. This is a 1972 Fender Tele, only it's a 2024. I showed this in my last studio tour. I know I'm being redundant. But I just love this guitar. I made it for Deliver Me From Nowhere, the Bruce Springsteen biopic. You'll see one of the guys on stage playing it, but it's a lot lighter than it looks. It's got wide range humbuckers, which are thicker and punchier sounding than traditional humbuckers, and it's light because it's semi-hollow body, believe it or not. Chow! The Gretsch G5422TG. You know what? Best bang for your buck Gretsch that you can get. It's kind of like the Falcon, but like $2,000 cheaper. And what I love about it is you put some TV Jones pickups in it and it sounds just as good. I had it set up beautifully about 5 years ago, and I really haven't had to touch it, and I've probably played 100 shows with it since. Honestly, which is your favorite? The Tobacco Burst Strat is quite arguably the most iconic Strat ever made. If this was a real 1962 3-4, it could be worth almost $100,000 in this condition. But it's not, it's a reissue. This is a 50th anniversary though, so it is worth quite a bit. And it's totally stock otherwise. You might notice, check this out. See this little top hat knob? I had to get this special because Stevie Van Zandt played it in a film gig I did, and they needed it to look just like it did when he was with the E Street Band. I'm just obsessed with this color. Look how deep orange this is. You know where Leo got the name Stratocaster? It came from stratosphere because it evokes this futuristic design. He almost went with Thunder Stratocaster, but at the last minute, his team convinced him to just call it the Stratocaster. The Gibson Black Beauty, living up to its name, it really is a beauty. Peter Frampton, Ace Frehley, they love this guitar. This one does not have PAF pickups in it. It actually has Lindy Fralins. And I know it's a sacrilege to take the original PAFs out of a Gibson Black Beauty, but dang, these Fralins sound better. Get your own if you don't like it. Springsteen did not play a Telecaster. He played an Esquire. Though this looks a lot like the Esquire he played, this is a Tele, and it's actually not a Tele either. Although it has all Fender parts, the body and the neck are not original Fender. They're made by a guy out of Kentucky, and it's a copy, and it plays amazing. The reason I haven't let go of it and the reason I keep it is because I set this guitar up 9 years ago, and it probably has the best action of any guitar in this studio. It's one of those guitars that just plays itself. And like I always say, if you find a guitar that just feels like butter, has perfect intonation, doesn't bitch and moan and needs setups all the time, that's a dream guitar, and they're extremely rare. And you can go into a guitar center and play 100 guitars and you won't find another one like it. I've said that before, I know, in another video, but I feel strongly this is one of those guitars. So if we're talking Fenders, we gotta talk the Stratocaster. This is a Mexican Strat. It has the grease bucket mod, the treble bleed circuit mod, and the blender pot mod. So the grease bucket mod, when you roll the tone off, the bass isn't increased, right? Because that's the problem. You get like a wow sound, or like a wah when you adjust the pot, because it's adding bass frequency. This modification doesn't do that. You're just adjusting the tone like a good high quality EQ. The treble bleed circuit mod is amazing. All Strats should have that. Essentially, when you turn the volume down, you don't lose the treble, because you usually bleed treble when you turn the volume down. So this one I had modified so it doesn't do that. The blender pot mod is essentially you're blending the neck pickup with the middle knob. I got 3 bass guitars here that I feel cover all the range of dynamics I need. I don't have a fretless anymore, and I need to get one. So the jazz bass was designed by Leo Fender with an offset body and a slimmer neck than the precision bass. The P bass, not so much. This is 1960 this came out. This is an American, has a little more growl, a little more punch, great recording guitar, and I love string through body design, gives you a little more sustain. James Jamerson and John Paul Jones made the precision bass, originally a classic. And the reason I find this bass so interesting is it was designed in 1951 by Leo Fender to be played with a pick. A lot of people don't know that. It was specifically designed to be the first electric bass to be played with a pick. Okay, the 1956 Hofner, although this model is not 1956, it's clearly a little more modern, but it does have the exact same electronics as the violin Hofner bass that Paul McCartney made famous. It is hollow body, and it gives you that plunky, thumpy, Beatlesy sound. This is Strawberry Fields Forever, baby. The Hofner bass. I highly recommend having one of these in the studio. And when you get it, immediately take it to a shop and have it serviced, because they come so poorly intonated. It's like a $300 or $400 bass, but nothing will give you the sound that this gives you. People spend a lot of money on compression and EQ and filtering to get this sound, and this is that sound right out of the box. I've played this guitar longer than I've played any other guitar. There's a dollar bill inside that says help. That's how I used to start my New York City subway concerts. I'd put the dollar inside of my guitar case and I'd start begging for money and playing my guitar with a harmonica around my neck. As you can see, it's been through a lot. This is the first haircut of my first son and the first haircut of my second son. It's cracked, it's beat up. I bought it in 2003, and I was homeless in 2 different states, and I ate food by playing this guitar on the streets in both of those scenarios, and I just absolutely adore this guitar. Tacoma RM8, made in the Pacific Northwest, solid spruce top, mahogany back and sides. It has a bolt-on neck. And I was working at a music store in Chicago, and the rep came in for Tacoma and was like, hey, you gotta try this guitar, it's amazing. And as soon as I played it, I said, I have to have it. He said, okay, I'll get you one. And I said, no, I want that one. He said, well, that one's not for sale. I said, I'll give you whatever you want. I have to have that guitar. And I ended up buying it off of him at retail. And it's been with me ever since. I cranked the truss rod nut finally as far as it goes about a year ago. So next time it needs a setup, I'll have to take it in for the first time ever to a professional luthier and have the neck reset. But I could put some washers in there or something, but either way, it's just a great kick-around guitar. When I die, please bury me with this guitar. You know what's sad about Tacoma, the company, is Fender bought them just for the sole reason to dissolve them. When Fender bought Tacoma, I was like, well, let's see what happens. I kept watching the website for like 3 years, and all of a sudden, it just said coming soon, and then it just disappeared. The only other fun fact I can say about the Tacoma Road King is the only other time I saw one was on a Friends episode. It was leaning up in the corner of Ross's apartment. That's the only other dude I know that ever had a Tacoma. Here's a couple beautiful pair of gals, the D18-12 and the D18-6. Both of these are from the late 60s. sound that impressive by themselves, but when you fold it into a recording, into a mix, it doesn't need any EQ, rarely needs compression. It's so well balanced. There are few guitars that are as well balanced as a D18. I challenge you. D35's too boomy. Double O's are pretty cool. Pre-war Martins really do sound so much better, but who's got 30 grand laying around? This particular one is used in the bedroom scene of Deliver Me From Nowhere, the Jeremy Allen White Bruce Springsteen biopic, as is this beautiful D1812. Of course, the D1812 stands for 12 of these tuners there. I like to keep obscure other stringed instruments laying around. Gotta have a banjo in the studio in case Steve Martin comes by and wants to jam. The beautiful Chinese eru. Seagull Merlin. And what studio would be complete without a nice little uke? I got some other guitars in the other room in the lounge. Let's go check them out. And this is my favorite slide of all time, a Regal steel string. It's a resonator, cool resonator, great for slide guitar playing. This is a beautiful Django Reinhardt type of guitar. It's a Harmony Patrician. I had the Magic Shop in Soho reset the top because the top was sunken in, and now it plays great. There was a guy named Iggy who used to work at the Magic Shop. Eads in Chicago that makes Eads guitars. He's a buddy of mine. He made this guitar for me. Really beautiful wood that he used too. I love it. We have a Guild 12 string here. Beautiful 12 string with mother of pearl inlays. This is the 512 NT. And another Gibson Cherrywood 335. I like to keep saxophones and trumpets and all kinds of instruments around too. Got all kinds of weird instruments in here. This is Bob Dylan's Wurlitzer that we used in A Complete Unknown. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed the 5-part series of the tour of the JML Recording Studios. I am Joshua Lutz. This is JML Recording. Take care of yourselves and take care of others. Love y'all.